Hey everybody, this is Superang, and I'm here to show you the changes that I've made to Mewtwo. These changes are featured in my mod, Project Cow. So, first off, one of the things that a lot of people address first when making changes to Mewtwo is the issue of his tail. So let me tackle that with you first. Basically, there's a lot of ways you could go about changing the tail, make it better. I decided to, instead of removing any hurt boxes, I decided to add intangibility. And there's a few reasons for this. First of all, I don't want Marth, or I'm sorry, basically is Marth if you remove all the hurt boxes. But I don't want Mewtwo to basically have a sword, because his moves weren't designed that way. Some of them are actually pretty fast with his tail. So having it completely disjointed, in my mind, is broken, makes overpowered moves in my mind. So instead, what I've done is I've just made it so that the outermost hurt box is intangible only during the active hitbox. But so yeah, basically during active hitboxes, the tail is disjointed. So before the hurt boxes appear, like that, or right after, right there, it becomes tangible again, so it can be hit. But this does definitely, it still also creates a duality of Mewtwo, which I feel is part of his character design, where his tail is also his greatest strength and also one of his key weaknesses. So he can still get hit on his tail, which I feel like is fair, but he definitely has powerful moves in neutral with the extra disjointed tail. So yeah, that's really good. And let's go into some of the other things. His shield size was increased slightly. Just covers him a little bit better. His feet kind of poke out even when his shield is fresh, so I just buffed it a little bit just to help him since Mewtwo's a larger character. Another thing is I didn't want to change Mewtwo's weight because that affects how Fox and Falco, well, mostly Fox's shine, works against him. And I feel like the heavy floaty character is already an archetype taken by Samus, so I don't want him to be heavy. What I did instead was I increased what's called air friction. Basically, air friction is how quickly your character comes to a stop when you're not putting in an input. So if I let go now, Mewtwo will decelerate in the air faster, and that kind of helps. It helps a little bit with knockback. If you were getting hit off the side, it helps your survivability off the side just a little bit. So yeah, that helps him live a little bit longer because we didn't want to change his weight, or I didn't want to change his weight. So there's that. And there's still a bunch of other changes to a lot of different things here. So first of all, Mewtwo's jab is a lot better. There's 4 frames taken off of it. It used to be really slow and not usable. Basically, if you hit it in Vanilla Melee, it was put the opponent in a favorable position instead of Mewtwo, which made no sense. Forward smash has better spacing. The hitbox on like the orb he casts, the hitbox is actually over that effect instead of before. Well, I was still on it, but it's just slightly further out, so it's got a little bit better spacing on it. Up smash, different the priorities of the different hitboxes were arranged, and they're arranged better, and just the weight dependent set knockback was adjusted. Basically just makes move connect better. And I also believe, I'm not sure if I have it in my notes right here, but I believe I also let him act out of it sooner by like a few frames, maybe 2, no more than 4 at the very most. So Mewtwo gets more off of his up smash. Down smash actually reduced the knockback of this move just because it is so fast and has very little end lag, and it's really good at covering ledge. So I just made it better at, or made it worse at killing off the side. Still great at setting people off stage though, and covering ledge. Mewtwo's Nair, the hitboxes were increased just a little bit. I'm not sure how much this would help overall, but it had it has pretty bad priority. So any small adjustments should still be beneficial in the long run. So then here's some pretty big changes now. So forward air now is slightly bigger, and the offset it appears at is further away from him. So basically he has more range. Before, Mewtwo basically had to be like this close to a character to hit him. The spacing was really bad. Whereas now, the spacing shouldn't be as strict, which actually helps out a lot. So it's more consistent. In exchange, though, it did lose 1 point of damage, going from 14 to 13. Another pretty big improvement is up air. Actually, the hurt boxes on it come out 1 frame sooner, so it actually covers in front of Mewtwo right there. That's actually really good. In exchange for it coming out sooner, though, it does have more land lag, from 20 frames to 25, so 12 frames they'll cancel from 10 to 12, and it also has less damage. But it's definitely good at covering in front of him now. So a few other things. So yeah, basically since Mewtwo's neutral is improved, his punish a game was already good, but now his neutral is improved with his tail. So with those, keeping those improvements in mind, there are a few nerfs to his throws. They still set up combos and can kill just like they used to, but the damage they did is less. For example, down throw, which is a really good throw actually, like not quite as good as Sheik's down throw as it was in Vanilla Melee, but it's pretty close. You can get a lot of down throw, down tilt stuff. So yeah, that damage was reduced from 11 to 8. The knockback growth was adjusted to make it basically the same knockback, but yeah, it just basically does less damage. And up throw and back throw, same treatment. Up throw went from 12 damage to 9, and I think it should kill at the same, maybe slightly later percents, but not that much, which is fine anyways. It's still a really good kill option. There we go. And see, that wasn't too high. That's slightly higher than you'd want him to be for kill percent for Mewtwo, besides like a ledge guard. So it's still reasonable. And Ganondorf actually falls pretty fast. So should be all good. Anyways, so those are all the changes to throws. And basically last thing is confusion actually works now. See if I can show you. So, there you go. Confusion actually works now. So, basically, yeah, Mewtwo has better. His tail is better. Still retains the same weakness, but it's stronger than it was before. He has a little bit more priority on certain moves. In exchange, his throws are not quite as powerful, but still pretty good. 8, 9, and 10 damage is still among the higher damaging throws among the cast. So yeah, it's still pretty good, just not quite as powerful. And yeah, that's Mewtwo. I hope you liked watching. Thanks. Bye.